6th day of October 2022, right here in Jamaica. And I'm sure it is the same time all around the world. No, not all around. Most places in the world. And so we thank you for joining us. We thank you for being with us this evening. We know you could have been elsewhere, but today, do we have a program lined up for you? We want to continue to just give our special thanks to our sponsors. Fosrich Company Limited, your electrical, solar, and lighting people. We're indeed grateful and thankful for Fosrich and Mr. Foster. They have been doing an excellent job. And so today, we want you to stay tuned and get ready for this exciting program. Kev, walk on.
Everything we're giving thanks.
Kevin seemed to be frozen there for a bit.
Yes. Yes. You're hearing me. Sure, this is the mailbox, and we're looking at today, are men protecting women enough? That is the question. Are men protecting women enough? And we want really to hear your perspective as well. Do you think men can do more to protect our women from abuse and even murder? Then do men owe women a special kind of protection? Or does it have to be mutual both ways? Whether at home, public transportation, in the school or workplaces, are our men making it safe for our women? So it's going to be a very interesting conversation. We live in Jamaica land we love, and what a beautiful island this is, the pearl of the Caribbean, with so many beautiful human beings and great beaches and rivers and mountains and history of sportsmen and women and music and food and intellectual properties that we can go on and on. And yet we do face some challenges, one of violence, one of crime. And we want to zero in this evening on the topic, are our men protecting our women enough? Courtney.
Yes, Kevin. That's a mouthful. And guess what, listeners? You are going to be our guest today. Kevin and I will be your host. You will be our guest. And here's what we want you to do. We want you to call us and text us and voice note us all evening. Today is your day. We are live on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. So you go there, that's our handle, Love 101 FM Jamaica. You can leave your comments via our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125. Or give us a call on our studio lines at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. Our WhatsApp line again, 876-997-3125, or our studio lines, 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. Many options today to be with us and to participate. And we invite you, our listeners. You are our guest today. Are our men protecting our women enough is the question. We're still in Lupus Awareness Month. And I saw an article, Kevin, of a husband and wife. I think it was in the Observer, who both are experiencing lupus and having severe pains, but they're sticking it out together and they're fighting against lupus. Powerful
Life,
story.
life can be so difficult, and there are some things we have no control over. Sometimes good things happen to bad things happen to good people, and there are many things we have no control. Yet we can choose our best response. We always can choose the best response, one that would honor God and honor self and other people. We can operate from a place of love So here we are, man and man. We have to give you a shout out, Courtney. So we have to shout out the man them because no matter what is happening, we have men of integrity. We have some great men in Jamaica land we love, who are very concerned, and it pains them to see abuse and degradation. And so we all have to collaborate in order to bring solutions to these challenging, difficult problems. But we have to big up our man them. So what was it, Courtney? After three?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so in
One,
agreement
two.
with you, sir.
Okay. No man. Great, great.
Monday!
Man in the place. So man
Definitely.
is in the place, and we are going to be having some conversation. Listeners, remember, this is the program designed for men, hosted by men, with guests who are men. This is where we challenge, encourage, empower our men to become all that they were created to become. And we're still excited about that because God has given us the wisdom and the authority and the power to do that. We have the solution. So, listeners, remember you can hit us up on Love 101 FM, 101 YouTube channel or Facebook page. You can go all the way to 6:30. So, ladies, gentlemen, the phone lines are now open for you to give us a call. Yes, you can actually start to give us a call because this is your program, your voice. We want to hear your perspective. And guess what? There is no wrong answer. It is your perspective. Give us a call, 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. You can also leave your comments via our WhatsApp line at 876-997-3125.
You know, it's so great when we have open house. Both women and men can call in. And so
Yeah.
that's the special thing that we have today. And the question that we're asking today is, do you think men can do more to protect our women from abuse and even murder? Do men owe women a special kind of protection? Yeah, is it their duty to protect the woman? Is it what was it? Is it mutual? And this protection we're asking whether they're at home, in public transportation, or at work, are our men making it safe for women? Are men protecting women enough? Is the big question today. We want to hear what you're thinking. And remember, the lines are open. You may call us at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. Or you can send us voice notes on 876-997-3125. That's our WhatsApp line. Kevin,
Yes.
talk to
So
me. How was your weekend?
really, really a very serious topic to look at. I just
It seems that we're having a little bit of technical difficulties here, but
think
we're continuing to
of
put this
creation and
question
how God
forward.
man and woman in that you're hearing me, Courtney, and
Yes, hearing
listeners.
you now. You
Okay,
had
okay.
frozen.
Right, right. I'm not sure what is happening, but I've been having some challenges too. So God has given both of us, men and women, responsibility to rule on the earth, and we were, encouraged to love each other. Man leave mother, father, cleave to his wife, become one flesh, and therefore the responsibility of loving each other, and that means protecting each other as well. And then I'm just thinking, Courtney, in our own context here in Jamaica, we there was a time when we wouldn't see so many abuses against our women, murders, for instance, and I'm just taking it away from slavery because we had a vicious past where our forefathers, men and women, were treated as subhuman beings. 3/5 of a human being, and flogged and beaten and murdered in the most vicious, horrific way. And the legacy of slavery and colonialism, all of that, some researchers believe still, hinders us from fully becoming all we're created to become. There's an author wrote a book called Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome. Dr.
I like that.
Yes, very interesting book, Post Traumatic Slave Syndrome, and it mirrors a lot of the symptoms of post traumatic stress disorder. And so we all of those legacies of low self esteem and anxiety and fear and is that playing out in how we treat each other? And then some people say, since our men, we weren't socialized in a healthy way, as we know it, we were just socialized to sow our seeds, and we were given our ratings and value by just having children, but no emotional connection, as it were. Is that playing up no? Courtney, I know you have well for things, Yeah.
It's so interesting listening to that information that you just put out there. So many maybe even asking the questions. Does
Mhm.
that still play a significant role in who we are today? Or is it
Mhm.
that men are using that for excuses? I've actually heard those questions already when this is put forward. We have had symposiums and
Yes.
say that the woman seem to have gotten past most of it. Yet in 2016, they, they, it was shown that Jamaica is one of the few places where our women, one woman may still have four children with four different surnames. So there is still a residue of what happened in slavery that still haunts us, where our men are still behaving violently, and because men were used to do the propagating of the plantation workers, and women would be the ones taking care. So men end up not even having the responsibility of the children. I see where we have a voice note, Kevin. It's interesting, and I think it's something we need to look into
Yes,
and recognize it as facts. Let's take this voice note.
sure.
Good evening,
Hi, evening.
gentlemen. I believe some men will try to do it, or some men take care of the ladies, but few, because many are very wicked to ladies or women. Coming from Sister Petroleum from our book, but I think every man should take care of ladies and children. Yeah.
Good evening, everyone, to the panel. Yes,
Evening.
I believe that men should protect women, and but men get so violent, so brutal against women nowadays. So you can't even women can't even look up to a man. Most men now, even the younger ones, them women can't look up to them because the men them get so vile. I have no heart. So you have to just live on your own at all times.
Yes, thank you for sharing those information and opinions as to where you're at. You know, we tend to base what we say on experience, and some of it can be anecdotal, but yet some of it can be research documentation. One of the things we tend to note, and I was actually discussing this with someone today after the producer sent the topic. There are
Yeah.
certain Caribbean islands that don't even report on crimes. because it interferes with the psyche of an individual. So much so that if it's such a great preponderance of that information over and over, you may think this is what generally happens when it isn't so. I think we need to stop and ask ourselves the question with social media, with all the different platforms that we now have. Is it that we are seeing more or a serious increase in what is happening, or is it just that it's now being highlighted and it was happening before? I believe a little bit of both is what obtains. But we definitely, as Kevin said, must operate in mutual love, um, and ensure that we protect both physically and protect the dignity of each other. It is not just a physical protection. Kev.
Yeah. So true, Courtney. So very true. I wanted to throw in the mix. One of our respondents says, many of our men are wicked and vile, and I just wonder, where did that come from? What are the causes of this? And it becomes so interesting. And I know it's a multifaceted answer, because we have the units of socialization normally is the home, the school, the church, and depending on how you look at it, the community. And then in our mix now, the powerful influence of artists, powerful
Yes.
influence of the artist with the music and the lyrics, and add to that with our youths who have no father, or the fatherless crew, as it were. Then you have to throw in the mix, as I know our friend from Mandeville, Dr. Coombs, would like us to look at the family structure. Why is it that we're not having more marriages? Why is it that still 85% of our children are born out of wedlock? And it must affect society because of poor parenting. So I want to throw that in the mix to say, then this thing must begin somewhere, and we have behaved our way into it, so we must can behave our way out of it. We no, we have behaved our way into it, so we must behave our way out of it. We can't talk our way out of something we behave our way into. We actually have to behave our way out of it. And so, is it therefore that we now have to look seriously on the home, the basic socialization, the first place? And does it mean we have to prepare for these children before they are born? And what would the education look like? And then a big thing, and I know women sometimes get uptight, but we have to speak the truth too, is that women are having these children, and these boys are coming from women as well. So is there a place that the woman too have a responsibility in dealing with this problem? All right.
Kevin, we have another voice note.
Yes.
I'm going to tell you about a session that we had at UE with Paho, and a question a Nigerian man asked. Let's take this voice note.
Our friend.
Good afternoon
Good afternoon.
to your
Afternoon.
guest and loved one. And I believe there are still good men out there who try to take care of the women, because my father is a good man. He takes care of my mother and us. So there are still good men out there. I believe that. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Kevin, you ended on talking about what responsibility the woman has. And we ended up in a discussion with a number of groups under the auspices of the Bureau of Gender Affairs. We had the meeting at the UWI Center.
Yes.
And the Nigerian man got up after some figures were presented, and we're dealing with this whole thing of the anger of men and violent men. And he got up and he said, and I'm going to imitate him, if it is true that in Jamaica, 85% of the households are headed by women, why are your boys so violent? Because he was trying to put forward, wouldn't a woman be teaching those boys how to respect women, how to treat them well, how not to hit one? What therefore is the root cause? There something else that is causing our boys to come to this place? And then there is a second thing. I remember when I was at Kingston College, I went to a particular meeting, and there was this hardened criminal. He served time at gun court. He served time at general penitentiary, and he came out and he was giving his testimony that even although he was a hardened criminal who would use the gun, he said if any member of his gang were to ever disrespect a woman, rape a woman, or shoot a woman, he would kill the man. Because he asked the question, don't any of you have a mother? Don't any of you have a sister? Why would you want to treat her that way? And that left a mark on my mind that here is a hardened, violent man, yet his violence was never directed towards women. Interesting.
Courtney, it's very interesting. And what has changed, what has shifted in the psyche of our men. And this is why I know there's no easy solution, because it's a very difficult problem, but we still have solutions. And we know all of us have to come together with these solutions. So some people will say it's the men who have abdicated their roles because they're the ones leaving these defenseless boys and girls, and therefore leaving the pressure on the women. And women now are so under pressure and stress that sometimes they displace this anger that really belongs to the man, but is displaced on the children, and who is less powerful, and they're right there. So they get sometimes the abuses. And we have records of what is called adverse childhood experiences in psychology, ACE. Those factors, those are risk factors for creating criminal minds, because persons have been abused physically, mentally, emotionally, sexually, and otherwise. And when you're abused as a child for a number of years, you become very hardened. And remember the research by Dr. Herbert Gill about the serial killers as well, which caused lots of problem. But my understanding, he says 100% of the serial killers said they were abused by their mothers.
Mhm.
And then Professor Hicklin, I know it was an empirical research as such, but he did share that he believed that about 40% of our population has a personality disorder, which makes us really prone to some maladaptive behavior. So you see, all of that is mix and mix. I think we have another voice note here. So we should take it now, Courtney.
Yes, let's go ahead.
Afternoon panel.
Afternoon.
Interested on this. But it is all started from the beginning. I know that man should always love the woman and seek to leave that space for even the blame they should sometimes, some of not go like what I say, but even some of the blame we have to gradually take it. And when we right, we have to sometimes stop it. Just to make the love flow. For in the beginning, all when time Eve did eat pick the apple, you know, Adam still know that is wrong, but he still eat the apple with Eve. So my comment is the nature of how we all grow in the home from start, and we grow with a parent, we grow and we see how all the reaction happen in the house. So the man come up and say, all right, you come up and say he would like to be like in that to take care of the house, like how his father run the house. So sometimes it happen just as how it happened at our home. So, you know, that is all I've got to say. Have a wonderful evening. May God continue to bless you. Jason from Westmoreland.
Bless
Ah,
you, Jason from Westmoreland. We thank you for sharing. And this question goes back to what we have been asking from the beginning, the family structure. What
mm-hmm.
happens there from as a foundational sort of perspective that guides the children, especially the male child, who is growing up, and we have to ask the questions. As Kevin says, is it that there's no father, and so the child has been left there defenseless? Yet we also see a proposal by others that says, listen carefully. If we continue to leave our children open, and sometimes even to the mothers who take their frustration out on the father who is not there, especially if the young boy looks like his dad. You wicked papa, leave me also with you.
Mhm.
And sometimes that frustration, we're not pointing fingers, we're just saying what the realities are. It's that frustration is taken out on that boy, as well as I don't like the ace that Kevin talked about, that adverse childhood experience. That ace is not a good ace. We don't want aces like those. We want adequate childhood experience. We want adoration and adorable childhood experience. But if that boy is continued to be treated as some man for growing, for take big lick, yet we have an adage that says in Jamaica, hurting people hurt people. If that adage is true, and our men are hurting so many persons, what is causing the hurt of our men? Why they're hurting others? We have some serious questions to ask. Okay.
Of course, Courtney. Some serious things you're throwing out there, Jackie Douglas says definitely yes. Men no longer regards women as the weaker species because women are competitive and standing up to challenges they face. But God did not ordain it to be so. The love of many wax cold. Such a pity, though. So Jackie, thank you so much. You're throwing something here, and I want to look at it too. Women are now becoming more competitive and standing up to the challenges that they face. So some persons believe there was a time when we didn't pay attention to women, and so they were seen as less than, coming from a patriarchal society. We didn't even count them in censuses. They were regarded as less than. And so we're coming from a place where women have had to fight, in quotation, for equality and for them to be seen as worthy and of value. And so we see more educated women. In Jamaica, we have more middle managers that are women than I think any place in the world. It's just the top ceiling still occupied
That's a
by
fact.
men. Yes, and in our tertiary institutions, we're well aware again that women lead the way in the percentage of them who are educated at the tertiary level. But still, it is said that the men have the power. Is it that we have now spent so many time taking care of our women in one way, neglecting our men in another way through the education and them getting special skills to empower them, that the men now have to reassert themselves because boys like men like power, and if you're not getting it one way, you have to find another way to get it. After all, me smarty, me significant. So isn't that a part of the equation again, Courtney?
Kevin, let's stick a point there and come back to it, because we have to take a time signal, and we're going to throw back to still. Are our men protecting our women enough? But we're setting a foundation, asking some questions. Get ready for the second half of the program. You're listening and watching the program, the mailbox under 101. Soon come back.
Integrity man, I am a man. Man. I am a man, I am a man, I am a man.
Hello,
Yes.
Jamaica. Fosfridge is having a super lighting sale. Yes, that's right. With LED emergency bulbs from $500. Come get you chandeliers, wall lamps, ceiling fixtures, and so much more. From October 1 to 31, shop and enjoy great deals at Fosfridge in Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Or visit www.fosfridge.com/shop. What are you waiting for? Enjoy massive discounts only at Fosfridge. Open Sundays.
I'm Tammy.
I'm Win,
And we are the Mitchells. Our life is a busy vibe. Sa Flow Yaran Road is made for our vibe.
Power your everywhere vibe with Yard and Road and get up to 150 megabits per second fiber fast internet at home and fully loaded mobile with unlimited social and YouTube data. Anywhere talking text plus gigs and gigs of any use data. All for a special offer of $4,999 plus GCT. Yard and Road is for the way you live. Flow, Jamaica's network. Visit discoverflow.co. Conditions apply.
When you've been around for 100 years, you've seen a lot. And at Grace, we've seen you enjoying meals while watching a movie, sometimes while watching a game, or being extra picky while watching your weight. We've been there serving up meals for the big moments and helping you take care of the little ones when that lunch bell rings. And with 100 years of great taste that has moved generations, you can be sure we'll be here for 100 more. Grace, celebrating 100 years of taste that moves you.
Embrace the Promise is coming to Jamaica with Ron Kinoli, Jonathan Nelson, Prodigal Son, Dr. KJ, Carrie Sales, Jermaine Edwards, Joan Flemings, and more. Gate prizes of up to $300,000 at each location. 876-784-2992. Manning's High School, Westmoreland, Saturday, October 29, 6 p.m. Randy Williams Entertainment Center, Sunday, October 30 at 5 p.m. Sponsored by Bugs Innovations, Love FM, and more. Embrace the Promise.
Hello, Jamaica! Fosbridge is having a super lighting sale. Yes, that's right, with LED emergency bulbs from $500. Come get you chandeliers, wall lamps, ceiling fixtures, and so much more. From October 1 to 31, shop and enjoy great deals at Fosbridge in Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Or visit www.fosbridge.com/shop. What are you waiting for? Enjoy massive discounts only at Fosbridge. Open Sundays.
Grace, celebrating 100 years of taste that moves you.
The time by Grace Foods is
6:03 in the evening here at Love 101 FM. You're listening the program and viewing the program, The Mailbox. I'm Pastor Courtney Morrison. With me is Kevin Bailey. And we're asking the question today, although it's Lupus Awareness Month, Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, we are asking the question still, are our men protecting our women enough? And we were talking a bit about the history of the violent behavior of our men and probably the socialization and the education that our men receive. And just before we took the break, Kevin was talking about men reasserting themselves in society and the power that, well, power sometimes comes with aggression. So, Kevin, if you could finish that discussion a bit as to what is happening there, I'm sure our listeners would like to hear what you're talking about. You're the psychologist. Let's go.
Thank you, Courtney. So, men and boys are very keen on having power. It is one of those things that we're created to have, testosterone levels, leadership qualities, or adrenaline flow, and we do very well as leaders because of our physical strength and testosterone. And so if we're not getting power in legitimate areas, for instance, education or skill set, whether we're a great carpenter or a steel worker or whatever it is, we have to find a way to exert ourselves so that we get the ratings, we feel significant, we feel worthwhile, and we feel like smarty. Rex Nettleford called it smartification. So men have to reassert themselves, and I am seeing some of this in violent behavior. It's just like the guy at school, if he's not doing so well academically, and you don't find sports to put him in, or a musical instrument. That's why you have to get our boys into something that they're passionate about, something that they love to do. But if he cannot find something that give him a ratings and make him feel significant, he's going to get trouble. And so are we aware of that, and therefore making the environment conducive for our boys to men so that they channel their energy? When you get a boy and a man engaged in purposeful, productive, passionate activity, oh gosh, man, it transformed the place. So I'm just saying we have to put that on the line as well, Courtney.
All right, it seems we have another voice note. Let's listen to and some Facebook and caller online. Let's go ahead. I think we're taking the caller. Good afternoon,
Caller.
caller. Welcome to
Yes.
the
Good
mailbox.
afternoon, my brother. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Afternoon.
Minister
How are
with
you?
Gospel. Yes. What I have to say, r- real man. Real man take care of their woman, man, or their wife. Any man not take care of man. He just name any money or mongoose. Real man. The Bible never say that woman who that find it a virtuous man. Man, a virtuous man, a man is a man. Yeah, the Bible say in a scripture says I remember this, but is Proverbs chapter 31 say, he that findeth a woman, and findeth a good thing. So man are very good. The good man is good man. And no good man no weak. Every good man a strong man. No woman no strong army. If he have even have any more money more than me, if his salary bigger than for me stronger than her because me not depend on him money. For me my duty is to take care of her. So I am man. I stronger than her. She not stronger than me. Good man take care of good a woman. Whether the woman bad or not, good man know how to deal with her. God bless you. That is my remarks.
Thank you for sharing. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. So, Kevin, your mango or your money? What the thing is,
Courtney,
when
is
I
there
hear,
another call? Is there another call, Courtney, online?
and I don't see any, we have voice notes and we have two
Okay.
Facebook comments,
Okay. Okay.
but you know, he leads me to ask a question. What does he think about David and Solomon? You know,
Mm.
he says, although Solomon had so much money, he had so many wives that led him astray.
Yes.
And David, we all know that even when David was dying in First Kings 1, you see that
Yes.
they put two women in the bed and say, you know, let them
Warm
minister
him
to
up.
him. Those were the words used in the king. Let them minister to him. So, I mean, even although David spoke of Psalm 51 and said, forgive me, O Lord, remove all my transgressions. When he was dying, they still had the
Yes.
impression that unless a woman was there for him and he rose to the occasion, and they declared it when they see him never rise to the occasion, surely he is
Mm.
dead.
What a
Yes,
thing.
so
What a thing.
we,
I
we,
know
we, we,
some men would love
we have
to
another
go
caller.
through
Good
this.
afternoon, caller Kevin. It looks like we have another caller. Yes. Welcome to the
Okay.
mailbox. Good evening.
All right.
How are you? Go ahead and share with
Bless,
us, please.
bless you.
Hello. Caller, you're on the line. Can you hear anyone? I'm not sure.
No, seems you might be having difficulty. Probably dropped off. Asking you to try again for us. It would be nice to hear your perspective. Jackie Douglas says, "I'm loving this topic. Listen, women. Listen, women are natural nurturers, so we're going to do what we have to take care of self and family. However, most men are lackadaisical and forfeit their roles in life. The women step up to the plate and get things done because of the excuses of the men, not because they encourage the women to do so. But as usual, from Adam days, it's easier to blame the woman than take the blame. Sorry, guys. That's Jackie. Jackie, we thank you for your perspective and your contribution as well. And it's amazing because God called Adam, even though Eve was the one that took the East Indian mango first and gave.
We say that's the only mango that's so tempting. Kevin,
Yes,
you know that there's actually a scripture in First Timothy that says, "For it was
mm,
Eve who sinned and not Adam." There's actually a
see
scripture that
there.
says that. That I don't think most, our
Thank you,
perspective when
Pastor.
we look at
No,
certain scriptures,
yeah.
really are is something else.
So Courtney,
Mhm.
why is it that Adam was brought to the books by God instead of Eve when Eve was the one that ate and then gave it to him?
Well. I have a perspective. He, Eve, and the snake and the earth were all brought to the books, and each one given their own judgment. you know. Yet it was Adam that he spoke to first, and I believe that is mainly because he made Adam first. And
Mm.
so, even when we worked in a store and we packed things on the shelf, first in, first out. It's a principle. It is a general principle that must be established, and we continue to do. So
So
Adam got called.
does it mean, Pastor Morrison? Notice no, I'm asking you. Does it mean that men are going to give account to God for abusing our women, for the state of our nation, the state of our homes, the state of our school and country? Is it that God would be calling the men, them, you and I, and say, what would I do? What the whole of man them did I do in a Jamaica to make the thing descend like this? I am just throwing that out, Courtney.
In reading back the Genesis account, as I said, he would call upon Adam firstly, but he would ask everybody to give an account of their own position, which he did.
Okay.
And so all of us have an accountability to do, as written in Hebrews 13 as well. Each one of us will have that position of accountability. The responsibility of being called first is one which the men bear, in terms of giving account. And sometimes it places an enormous burden on our men, that level of responsibility. And, as a psychologist, I'm sure you will also recognize that, especially when a man cannot provide for his household,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
greatest thing that accounts for his malbehavior. He may end up at the bar, he may end up finding a one night fling, he may end up spending it on racehorse. All those behaviors are wrong, but he finds it as a way out to escape the burdensome pressure, you know,
Yes.
that that
Yes.
that is placed upon him. And we are learning more and more as days go by that First
Of
Corinthians
course.
10:13, for all have sinned, and but it is common to all of us.
Yes.
But God has
Yes.
provided a door of escape. We just need to see the door and not make our own doors. Because
Ah.
the doors that God opens are the ones that we should go through and
Yes.
ensure. My thing is, it takes some of us a longer time. As I told some persons, it took Moses 40 years.
Mm-hmm.
And even when he was to go back to deal with the accountability that he had in Egypt, even although he had a fire flaming bush experience, when God came to him and said, "All right, time to go now," my man still say, "I can't talk."
Yes.
God said,
Yes.
"What you say?" "I'm me give you your mouth." And so the truth is, we have to re-educate. We have to re-socialize, and we
Mm-hmm.
really and truly have to change the culture that exists, that men are emotionless. And I would tell persons, I believe murder is one of the deepest emotions
Of
that
course.
I see
Of
that
course.
occurs. That when you talk about crimes of passion, when you
Mm-hmm.
see a man empty bullets in person or give 48 stab and you try to figure out what going, he is so in pain and have caused the
Yes.
pain to accumulate in such a way that him feels
Yes.
he must just empty it one time and done. And
Yeah.
so we have to learn how to talk, which is
No, that is so true. I believe we have a lot that we can do. I was on a panel with Dr. Henry Morgan, and he works a lot in the inner city in Trenchtown, and he was saying one of the most therapeutic thing that you can do for a man down there is to provide a job. That the therapy of him earning his own money. And amazingly, I shared camp with Bishop Errol Henry as well, founder of Inner City for Christ. And he shared the same thing, that resources are required. And these two gentlemen in Trenchtown are really putting their time and their resources
yeah,
into
man.
that. Here,
Stalwarts, they are, man.
yes, Stalwart's there for years and doing
Yes.
a lot of transformative work. No, I am believing that
Before you go
today,
any further, I said
yes.
we're being prompted about the Facebook comments. Let's take
Ah,
those Facebook comments and
okay.
then just stick that point
Sure,
and then
sure.
go. Facebook comments. You're listening to the program. The mailbox happens every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. on Love 101, the family station, with Courtney and Kevin. We've been doing so for the last 10 years. This is a program hosted by men whose guests are men, designed for men. Let's take this voice note or this caller. Let's go.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You know that sometimes when first time when the children them, especially boys, see their father pattern
I think
and
we're
fighting
having
their
both of them at
mothers.
the same time.
And
One
even
of
when them come big and true, they have that thing in them head that woman is wicked, so they must get beaten. Them come up with that, and as a woman just barely never talk hard. Boof baff, mash them up, kick them. You know, see it. So that is the thing. Some now not doing it, but some do it because them see them mother and them father fight and the father beat the mother. So that them take up. As even now some little girl at school and little boy, even if you and them have a little problem, after you beat them box, them come. Cynthia.
Thanks for sharing. Is there another? Oh, that was both of them. They sound as if they were being played at the same time, but we're hearing the woman more clearly than the other voice note that it was superimposing. You know, that sort of reaction also stems from an abused person becoming the abuser. You know, it's what they learned, it's how they learn to respond. And again, counseling, guidance, teaching. You know, the main question is, are our men protecting our women enough? The answer would be in a lot of cases no. Yet the question is, do our men know how to? Because there are some who believes that they're actually protecting them by some of the abuses that they do. You know, it's strange. It's strange when you listen to the diction of some of our men. Kev?
No, it is true, and I think it's almost like on a continuum. You have ignorance and arrogance, and then you have in between a combination of what is happening. There are some of our men, boys, who are ignorant. They don't know what is healthy behaviors. They haven't seen it modeled in their homes, and so we need to be able to recognize that they're ignorant and educate, mentor, teach them, guide them, model it to them. So we need more people who would model those behaviors. We want to encourage our men to do that. Then there are some men who they know better, but they have become arrogant, as it were, and they have chosen a pathway that they want to be self-centered and control things. And so again, is it that they are being deceived and we can find a way to reach them? There are countries where they're having a lot of successes as well, and we can look at those models as well and tweak it for our benefit. The reality is that we can change the narrative. We can change it. That's what we're saying on this program on the mailbox, is that every one of us, can you imagine if all of us in our homes, for instance, would start there, at Jerusalem, and be the example, and then encourage. We're not perfect. No perfect man, but we can become great. We still have a voice. We still can say, and so the thing must set. We must come from a place of love. We must value each man, and the woman, can we say that there must be forgiveness, so that there's no bitterness and tit for tat as well. So we collaborate in changing the narrative, Courtney.
All right, we're going to stick a pin right there. We're going to take a break. We're going to come right back. You're listening to the program, The Mailbox, on the 101 The Family Station. Let's go to studio.
I am a man, yes. Strong man.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
importers. The Jamaica Customs Agency is reforming its clearance process, making it easier for you to clear your non-commercial and small value items using our simplified declarations. You will be able to clear your goods without physically visiting the port or a warehouse for customs inspection, making your clearance experience even better. The pilot begins October 2022 across all marine public bonded warehouses. For further details, email Jamaica Customs at contactlessclearance@jca.gov.jm or telephone 876-922-5140 to 8. We're here to serve you. Jamaica Customs, keeping our customers in focus.
You know what's sweet? The new pack Sweet Living promotion. Win great prizes.
Bedroom set, living room set, kitchen appliance set, plus TVs and monthly cash prizes.
Send in 5 new pack labels. Labels must belong to at least the new pack corned beef, new pack Vienna sausages, and sauces categories.
Below the tagline, new pack, more than just value.
Place your entry in one of the drop boxes at participating outlets or enter by mail. Time to live sweet. Enter the new pack Sweet Living promotion. August 28th to November 19th. See the press for more details. Authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
Hello, Jamaica! Phosphorus is having a super lighting sale. Yes, that's right, with LED emergency bulbs from $500. Come get your chandeliers, wall lamps, ceiling fixtures, and so much more. From October 1 to 31, shop and enjoy great deals at Phosphorus in Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Or visit www.phosphorus.com/shop. What are you waiting for? Enjoy massive discounts only at Phosphorus. Open Sundays.
Yes, welcome back to the final segment of the program, The Mailbox on the 101, the family station, the number one gospel station right here in the nation of Jamaica. We're talking about are our men protecting our women enough? We've been setting a foundation. We come to the conclusion that there's more that can be done. Improvement definitely needed. Yet we're looking at the basic thinking of the man. Kev, there's something that about the subconscious that also is a storage facility that records things that happen round about us. And as you spoke about modeling our men, a lot of our men have seen our fathers or some other men actually hitting a woman, and that becomes somehow submerged in our subconscious, and it's our conscious thought that overrides those subconscious files. Yet Wayne Mitchell, used to be Wayne Marshall, had done a video that showed of a young man who had gone out, work, got fired, come home, and hit his wife. Rennie McClurkin, a cousin of Donnie, had actually done a case study, and they did some books that actually shows that the subconscious file stores that and tells a similar story of how this man saw his father. He vowed he would grow up, he would not do the same thing. Yes, and he got married and he did well until one day he went to work and unexpectedly the boss fired him for some trivial thing. Well, he thought it was very trivial, and he went to the bar, came home, and ended up hitting his wife. The very thing which he pledged for himself, he is now violating. When they did the study, they found out that one of the things that happened with his father is that he would come home and the wife would not have dinner on the table, and for that reason was why he got angry. This very night the man came home, that was the case with his wife. But alcohol and anger disables your cognitive conscious thoughts, and so that which was hidden in the subconscious file just flooded his mind, and his body responded in like manner. Those are not excuses, folks. We wanted to know the fruit of the Spirit has 5 wonderful pieces that says love, joy, peace, faithfulness, gentleness. The other 4 pieces of the fruit we don't really like. The long suffering, the temperance, the self-control, and the patience. We don't really like those parts. We love to hear the first wonderful parts.
Yeah.
But all of them together is what makes the fruit. You know, there are pegs in the fruit. Indeed, self-control, patience, long-suffering, bearing it and lasting it out is that part of the fruit that we need to exhibit more as men. I see Michael
Uh,
Thomas, W. Michael Thomas saying, Courtney, I agree with you. When a man is not able to optimize his purpose, if not strong, he can be emasculated. And I think many people underestimate the power of emasculation. Men like to be appreciated, acknowledged, and affirmed. Want you to hear that again. Appreciated, acknowledged, and affirmed. If you don't remember anything else tonight, please remember that. If you appreciate, acknowledge, and affirm a man, woo, he operates at his maximum. Michael Thomas says, because Adam abdicated his responsibility, he should have rebuked his wife rather than falling to her invitation. And I've heard women express that, oh, Adam was a weak man, but I think God created a perfect man. But you tell me. Courtney and Kevin, hurting people hurt people. Men who have not received don't have it to give. One cannot give what they don't have. We pray and prepare our brothers, sons and brothers to lead in a significant way. Thank you. Arden then. Men are not protecting us enough. Some men feel threatened by women who are more educated and work more dollars than them. Thanks for sharing, registered nurse then. Kev.
Yeah, so
We only have a
can you
couple of
believe it?
minutes left, but
We're
indeed it
almost
has
out.
been, yeah.
Almost out of time. I remember is James 3:17 that all the wisdom that comes from above, filled with humility, pure, uncontaminated, um, you know, giving good fruit, submissive, easy to entreat, and not hypocritical nor insincere. And so we pray for wisdom for both men and women as we collaborate in love so that we will give the best of ourselves.
Amen.
From the beginning, even in preparing for children, we would look to have committed relationships like marriages. Can you imagine if we could do that, where we would spend time preparing persons for this institution of marriage, and the children get the benefit of both parents as well. We affect our homes, our schools, our society as well. So we have some solutions there, Courtney.
Definitely. Jody K. Dawkins says, not enough. More can be done. More can be done, and that starts from the home. Until we fix our homes, we can fix our world little by little. Indeed. Again, if we focus on the family structure, it means we also have to look at a formula that works. We have to look at a structure that works. And we do have one, don't we? Yes, we do. I saw someone say that women are natural nurturers. I love to be a little controversial. God is declared as Father, and he says he's an excellent nurturer. He's called El Shaddai, the multi-breasted God. So I believe men should be excellent nurturers too.
Yeah.
My
So it's
little thing.
complimentary.
Yes, Kev, we're right at the end right now. So yes, we do believe that there's more and there's improvement that should be done when it comes on to protecting our women. And we also say protection is not only physical, it is also about mental and emotional and protecting the dignity of each other. Kev?
Wow. So thanks to our producer, Tony K. Brumfield. I work in Tony K there. To Timoy Butler for technical support. To everyone that participated inside the show today, thank you so much for making it Love 101 your family station. I'm Kevin Bailey. It has been 10 years. Can you imagine? This is the program designed for men, hosted by men with guests who are men. I am Kevin Bailey, my co-host right there.
Courtney Morrison. Catch you next week, same place, same time. This was the Mailbox, and it was sponsored by Fosrich Company Limited, your solar and lighting people, and brought to you by Love 101 FM, the family station. Next week, Monday.
Monday up.
Strong man, integrity man, I am a man.